Aloha, siblings, and welcome to another Minetest Monday. This one is for July 13th in 2026. I think most of you know what's going on. This is Minetest. For those of you who don't, I play Minetest, not Minecraft, largely because I'm not a fan of Microsoft. If you need a reason for that, because people always ask, one of them is predatory business practices. There you go. And I'm not telling you not to use Microsoft. That's just my own personal thing. There you go. There's enough of that nonsense. Let's do the YouTube thingamabob, right? So you need to do please click the subscribe thing, click the notification bell, click the thumbs up, right? If you dig the video. I mean, if you don't dig the video, then, you don't have to do any of this. Anyway, also, the whole commenting thing and all of that. Okay, I also have links in the description to include my old channel, my original channel, which I encourage you to go check out and watch, because that channel is monetized. This channel is not. And that channel has, well, it does better when people watch videos. And since I haven't been posting there, everything's gone downhill. So sorry for the woe is me story, but there you go. There's also a link to a video that explains what all that nonsense is about. There's also Patreon, right? If you feel like, giving me some help and support. Also, there's a Buy Me a Coffee. If you don't want to do a monthly thing, you just want to give me a one-time, sort of thing. If you go to my old channel, you can also do the YouTube Thanks button. Whatever feels better to you and all that kind of thing. Or, if you don't feel like giving me any money, then don't give me any money. Anyway, live streams. I do live streams every Saturday night at 8 p.m. California time, at least as of, currently, I'm recording this video in 2026. So live streams, 8 p.m. California time, every Saturday night. There you go. Come hang out with us. It's a really good time. Okay, I think that's about it for all of the normal, whatever the hell. Yeah, let's just go into it. There's, if there's anything more things I need to do, I can always just, do it while I'm playing the game. All right, I think everything looks like it's okay. So let's go ahead and say continue. All right, I'm first off going to do just a bit of walking around. Oh, this is getting late in the day, isn't it? All right, yeah. Well, anyway, we'll do the sunset thing in a minute. Okay, so this is, actually, let's just walk all the way up to the top. And then I'll kind of talk about where everything is. Here's the sunset thing. So let me do the lullaby thing, right? Do 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 do. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Okay, up and at 'em. So let's go up. Also, for those of you who are new, and you're not familiar with the Minetest thing, just to give you an idea of the scale of the project, each block is a meter cube, right? So, right, like, so that room down there is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 meters tall, I think. Is that, I count that right? So that's pretty tall. So this is going to be the rooftop garden. It's going to get a lot more filled in. I just, haven't got that far yet. It's because all of this here is going to be, filled in with grass. I'll probably put trees and stuff along here, and then there'll be parts that will be kind of walkway-like. But they're going to be mostly around the outside, and so I'm going to have to figure out some form of railing thing for that. But and I'll probably find different spots for steps to get into the garden area and all of that. But anyway, so there's that. I don't know what I'm going to do here precisely. Probably some sort of patio kind of thing. Alright, so this is the roof, as it were. So let's kill flying for a minute. And now we're going to go down these steps over here. And let's... And... Oh, I guess I have to go over here. I think I have steps here now. Alright, now I come down here. Okay, so this is my personal access to the roof from my chambers, right? So this is my personal chambers for the huge mansion here. So let's go look. This is where I'm going to have my sleeping area. And this is going to be my bathroom, like the toilet area. This is going to be shower and bath. I'm not sure where I'm going to put like a vanity and sink and all of that yet. I might put that in the... I don't know. I'll sort that out later. Okay, so this will just be... I might have like a seating area over here. This looks down into sort of the... I like having elements of the outside on my inside. So this is kind of a atrium-ish sort of thing. And this is my personal entrance into the library, which we'll check out in a few minutes there. And we go into here. Oopsie daisy. This is going to be my recreation room. Right? And well, this goes to the rest of the house. I think over here, at least somewhere in here, I haven't really decided for sure yet. I think this is going to be like a large AV room with maybe a couple of other elements, you know, so like if you wanted to watch movies and stuff like that. And, oh, I guess I didn't do that properly. There's steps. Where are the steps? Are over there? Okay. I forgot where I put them. This is going to be a 2-channel hi-fi room, because I, once upon a time, was very much into hi-fi stuff. Well, into it to a degree, because, you know, I was not wealthy enough to buy the things I really wanted, you know what I mean? So just to give you an idea, for those of you who are kind of into hi-fi, the best system I ever had used a Technics direct drive. It wasn't the DJ one, it was a model or two below that one, I think. It didn't have the speed variation thing, but it was, I think it was the same motor and a very similar tone arm. I think it was mostly just that it was... Oh, this is the guest room, by the way. Anyway, it was decent, right? It wasn't fantastic, but it was, you know, for me it was fantastic because it played records very well. And for, you know, what I could afford, what it was fantastic. And I had a receiver that was the, I think it was the 3025 is what they called it. It was basically the 3020 integrated amp with a tuner put on, and I think Shots made the tuner for them. I'm not 100% sure about that though. Alright. Okay, so this is just going to be another floor. Not sure what all is going to go into this particular space. This is how you would normally go into my room instead of flying to it. Right, so this takes us back to kind of where we were. Let's come back down here. And again, this is a library. We'll go explore that in a few minutes. Okay. Over here is going to be some more guest area. So this is a guest room. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to make it all work, but so there'll be a bathroom in here for them, which will be very nicely sized. So luxurious. This will basically just be a bed area, right? So almost hotelish. I'm not sure exactly where to put the bed per se, but maybe I'll have this be closet space and I'll just have the bed kind of be here. Right? Maybe like that, because that's what, 2 meters by 2 meters. That should be a decent sized bed maybe. Right? And this, I think I think I'm just going to have some kind of window here. I haven't 100% decided. But anyway. But this is going to be more guest area for people who want to come hang out with me. I think I'll have this be sort of a lounge-ish area, maybe. I'm not sure where. Maybe I'll put sleeping here. I don't know. That gets to other places. This is going to be another bathroom area. I might put, another bed or something, or I don't know. Or maybe I'll just make this be like a dressing area, maybe some closet space or something like that. Maybe this will be sort of, if they wanted to have a little couple of chairs or something to sit in down here so I can hang out privately instead of having to always be out with me. Actually, you know what? This stuff, I think, should all be... Right, I think... What should this be? Because I was just thinking... this I might just have... I don't know. Because I was also thinking that this might be the best place to have sleeping, and then the dressing and bathroom, and there could be a big window here, and out here, maybe, I don't know, maybe this could be a secondary bedroom or something, or, I don't know, but maybe not that, because do you want to have just bedroom access to, this is going to be just like a balcony deck for this area of the house. So there's a lot of sorting out I still need to do about specificity. I'm not going to be doing that immediately because, okay, so here's the overall plan and arc for the series. I'm going to keep doing this as I have been, where I just kind of wander around and then do some building until I feel like I've got the basic structure, like the shell of it with, the floor plan and most of the walls and doors and things like that put in. Okay, what this is... Wait, where is this? This is where we came down, right? Yeah, that's where we came down. So it's just big and I keep getting lost in it. Alright, we came... No, we didn't come out of here. Okay, so this is the recording studio. Right, this will be the main room. I'm going to have to maybe figure out different access to this, because I think there might, we're going to want to be able to bring equipment in that might not fit through that door. This will be the control room, right, where all the stuff will be, like, a desk or whatever, and I don't know, this, I kind of have it set up, this is silly, it's going to have to get totally remodeled, but this is going to be like a vocal booth. And so we go back out here, and let's go down this way. Oh, that's where we came in, right? That goes back out to the guest area. This is going to take us down. Alright, again, I'm not sure exactly what's going to be here. Maybe like a sitting area again to be around the atrium thing. That's the gym down there, which we'll get to in a moment. This is going to be the crash pad room, where it's basically just going to have, like, futons and pillows and, so you could basically just walk in here and fall over. And here's a bathroom in here that'll just be basic, toilet, sink, shower. So like if people come over to hang out and then they get too loaded to, to drive home, then just go into the crash pad until you're ready, man. That kind of thing, So that's what that's for. This over here that's more library. So here you're not going to really have direct access to the library. You're just going to be able to look at it. I don't know what I'm going to do here yet. Maybe put a railing or maybe put glass. I'm not sure yet. I'm just not sure yet. Okay, anyway, now we're going to go back to this way. I might close this off. That looks out into there. You can hear there's the water. That's for the pool. I need to tinker with the pool. It's not exactly the way I want it yet, but I will get to the pool. Oh, and fixing the pool will be among the things that I do that counts as finishing the building. Anyway, so back to the arc of the series. So I'm going to make the shell of the thing, and to include fixing the pool. Okay, here we go, sunset time. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Alright, let's go up again. And where did we leave off? We were just in the gym, weren't we? Okay. So I'm going to finish the shell of the place that I'm kind of just giving you a tour of. And let's turn off flying for a minute. And then I'm going to go find somebody else's game on one of the servers for Luanti, wherever I can find that. I'm not sure what this room's going to be. I think this is where I'm going to put like a jacuzzi, maybe even a sauna if I can fit it, for like the gym area. Oops, let's go back here. And I might even have a, like one of those rinse-off showers like they have at the beach, you know what I mean? And in here will be sort of a dressing room. I might put a shower in here, because people, when they work out, right, you're not interested in doing your full grooming thing, right? You just want to rinse off so you don't feel so sweaty and disgusting, and then you can go do the rest of your thing elsewhere. Right? So let's go check out the pool. Right. Yeah, see, I don't know, I got all kinds of weird shit going on here. Ultimately, I'm going to have like a diving platform at this end, because it's much deeper into the pool. Over here will just be, basically the whole thing will basically just be like 2 meters deep. And then over here there'll be a shallow end that'll be 1 meter deep. And, okay. Oh, let's go over to the grass, I guess. Let's go over to the grass. Get over to the grass. And I just wanted to have this strip of grass inside. It just appeals to me to have all these weird little... And this is going to be all enclosed. So it's going to be all glass. And I think I'm going to be using the black framed glass in this section of the house because it matches this. Is my, I don't know, solarium deck that's off the gym. I don't know, maybe I'll put some lounge chairs and stuff for, I don't know, if people want to come out and hang out for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, half hour, whatever. What is it you're supposed to do to be able to get your body to generate the appropriate amount of vitamin D? I used to know more about that stuff and I just can't remember. That's what happens when you get old, man. Alright. Alright, yeah, and this is just going to be, looking out into the world, right? Alright, so the rest of the second floor, right, this is just, again, looking down into that area. I like even having little ledges of, I'm going to put flowers and stuff on it, I think, but... Alright, here's going into the library. I'll go spend some time in the library in a few minutes. Let's go down to the first floor. So this is the great room, or whatever you want to call it. Right? That's where you come in. Oh, well, let's go look at the entry. I guess we'll just do that real quick. And lighting and stuff will change eventually. This is all just put up so I can... Sometimes when I'm working through the night or whatever, actually that room just gets dark because there's no windows in it. I purposely have it so that there aren't any real windows here on this area. I don't know why, it just appealed to me. It makes it feel kind of castle-ish, you know what I mean? And this is just a silly little, I'm not sure what I'm going to do over here. also, you'll notice I have this little divot. There's this spot over here, and the spot there that's basically, I didn't excavate that stuff right over here as well. So I just sort of followed the natural terrain and parts of the building. Alright, so that's the library. We'll go in there in a minute. Let's go over this way. Here is what's going to be the dining hall. And again, remember each one of these cubes is a meter by a meter by a meter. So this is a big dining room. Here's my huge kitchen. I have that stuff up there because I think I might make it be a 2-story kitchen. You know what I mean? Like maybe upstairs is like, you know, I don't know, but that huge fridge where you'd keep like sides of beef and, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's just, this is clearly over the top as far as anybody's actual living place. But this is the breakfast nook. I haven't figured out if I want to just put a roof there, or do I want to, I don't know. I thought about having it be going all the way up and connecting to a patio somehow on one of the other layer levels, or I don't know. So it's just sort of open for the moment. But that'll be like one of the things I solve before I go to finding somebody else's game to play. Oh, anyway, back to the series arc. So when I finish, again, doing all the basic empty house bit, you know, like before you move in sort of thing, then I'll go play survival mode on somebody else's game. Just like, well, just to do it, see what it's like. Oh, you know, let's go over here. And also to give me a sense of how I might make a game for people to play. This one, I don't know that I'll make this playable. I mean, I think because this is just my first experimental whatever, I might make it available. I haven't really looked into it with any depth, but it's my understanding that there are servers available where you can, you know, put your own games up, you know, so you can make your game available for people to play. Okay, this is again sort of a outside-inside sort of area. And we'll go look at the other one too. I'm not sure what I'm going to do down here precisely. Maybe a lounge. Anyways, let's go over to here. Now we go up here. Right, this is just back up into the house, right? We go back up that way. But let's go this way. See, right, this is still just right. And you can see that's the solarium thing at the gym up there, right? And so we go in here. I excavated this tunnel. And here we go. And so we found this area here. What in the world is all this? Oh, every once in a while I will just start clicking the walking keys and stuff like that because as this is an ASMR channel, I like to do that now and again. You know, this is weird. I keep having to take this stuff out. Well, I guess it's plants, right? I'll put a block there in a minute. I don't know, or later, I don't know. Yeah, let's just... Yeah, they keep growing in here, I don't know. So let's just take them out. How about that? Alright. Let's get you two. Oops. Up. And there we go. Alright. So let's go this way. Go boink. Yeah, I need to figure out more. I don't know, a little bit better of how I'm going to have the access down here. Alright, so this is a cave. I didn't excavate this, I found this, and that's what inspired me to excavate the tunnel to get to it. Alright, I'm going to put a jacuzzi there as well. And I think back here will be a big sauna. Anyways, let's go back out. And where are we going here now? I always get lost in here. There we go. And here we're going to go this way. Now, do we want to go back through the... No, let's not go back through the tunnel. Let's turn on flying. a bit. Let's go over a bit. Let's go up a bit. Let's go up a bit more. Let's go over a bit. Let's go up a bit more. Right, so now you can see where we are in relation to the house, right? There's the bed, right? And there we go. So there's that. So anyway, so where did I leave off talking about the arc of the series? I guess I was talking about I was going to do survival mode to get a feel of the thing. And when I come back from survival mode, I'm going to learn to build mods. And then I'm going to complete this place with all of the, like in that 2-channel stereo room, I'm going to like make, like a reel-to-reel, a turntable, a tuner, preamp, power amp, speakers, the whole freaking thing, right? And yeah, let's go. Let's go back to over here. Here, let's do this real quick, so we can just see a little bit of the Minetest world. Yeah. And all right. So there's the whole big freaking house, and you can see over here where I've kind of followed the terrain, right? We'll go look more at that. All right, here, let's just get over to here. Let's get over to here. All right, see, there's the crash pad in there, right? I don't know what I'm going to do here. I like it being there just as a thing, but part of me goes, put a stairway somewhere so people can get to it. I don't know. Maybe not. Anyway, let's turn off flying. Ooh. Let's go in here. So again, this is the Great Hall area. Right, we'll go over, check out the library in just a sec. Let's go back over to this area, right, again, following the terrain. And again, this is mostly following the terrain, which is kind of gave you the idea for this bit. And there's a stairway there. And there's the grass, so if you want, you can just climb down the grass, because it's fun and silly. Again, I didn't really excavate any of this, I just discovered it. I did put the steps in, though. So those steps are the way back to where we just came from, and the steps go up to a part of the world that oh, it's dark already. Well, I missed the sunset thing. Here, let me put a lamp in here just so we can see it. I'll take it out later. Alright. See, so this is just sort of you can come out, and if you want to, let's say the weather's crappy outside, right, but you want to touch grass or something, you know what I mean? So that's what this is kind of about. Oops, come on, here. Oh, dude, why do I keep drifting? Strange. Anyway, okay. So there's that groovy bit of the house. Now here, we're going into the library. And I need more light in here, don't I? Let's put light over here. There we go. Alright, that's a bookshelf. It says it's empty, but there's books in it, man. What are you talking about? I don't like it. So that's another mod I'm going to have to build. I just put it there just like kind of So I'm going to have bookshelves all over the place in here. This, again, is following the natural terrain. I think I'm just going to have that be sort of like bean bags or something like that down there. So, if you want to take a book and go down there and just chill and read or something. Alright, so this will be the first floor of the library, which will be mostly bookshelves. Okay, now we're going up to the next story of the... Alright, this will be the computer room. Right, I have a couple of computers, and so if people just need to get access or whatever, if I have visitors and whatnot, this will be my personal office. I don't know if I'll put a door there or not. I could always just password protect crap, and Alright, that goes back to where we were. Let's go over this way, okay. Now, we're going to go up these steps. And I still haven't, I don't know what another mod I think I'll do, and I'll wait to do this till I do mods as opposed to, filling in the house. I need to think about what I'm going to do for railings. I just don't know exactly how I want to approach it. See, I have in some places I've been using that glass, the black framed glass. And it's not the best solution everywhere, so I'm not sure. So I'm going to have to make a mod, I think. And I'm not sure even what I want it to look like, to be honest, right now. Anyway, I'm not sure what this area is going to be. I'm thinking it might be like I put like a little counter with an espresso machine and maybe a couple of chairs, right? So this will be the, you know, the beatnik coffee shop in my own house, right? I'll have a little, you know, maybe I'll have a little shelf unit above the cupboard and it'll be filled with like, you know, clove cigarettes and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Maybe a hookah. Alright, so this is just sort of, I don't know, frivolous space. I don't know exactly what I'll do here, but it's just kind of here. Just to, you know, I like the idea of the library being kind of this big, kind of open. I think physical space can change how we think. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of the point of a lot of architecture, right? Is people discovered, I mean, look at cathedrals. I mean, those things they are constructed for awe, right? You're supposed to be totally overwhelmed and, you know, stained glass window. I mean, think back in the day, there was, you know, they didn't have bright lights and stuff like we have now, but that was kind of the equivalent, right? Holy mackerel. And if you talk to any architect guy, they'll tell you about that there are ways of designing things. You can get people to like, they use it in, you know, like stores for like tricking you that, you know, you should walk this way. Right? This is all just getting around, right? Anyway, so, you know, I don't know. I'm mindful of architectural stuff. I just have no skill at it, you know what I mean? But this is fun. This isn't intended to be. Oh, let's go over here. Anyway, so back to the thing. Go play a survival game for a while until I feel satisfied with that. Come back, make mods, finish this house. After the house is finished, I want to figure out, I already did say this, didn't I? I'm repeating myself. Oh well. Alright, this goes back to my house. Right. Oh, there'll be bookshelves along here, I think, too. Like some books here. Maybe I'll have bookshelves on each of these little wall bits. And over here's a balcony, which is just, yay, more balcony. I like balconies. And, oh, we're going up, aren't we? It's like, which way are we going, man? Alright, so after that, we'll come back, do the mods, do the thing, do this house, finish it, make it available just so that people can tour it. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a playable thing, you know what I mean? I'm just going to make it so you can walk around and explore it for yourself. You know, maybe I will make it playable, like, so if you want to pull books off the shelf, or if you want to go into the hi-fi room, maybe I'll actually, I don't know if you can do this in the game, I don't know how complex the game allows you to get. But maybe I'll, you know, put some of my music to make it available for people to listen to in the hi-fi room and stuff like that, you know. Maybe in the movie room, you know, make it so that you could watch, you know, I don't know, maybe some of my ASMR videos or something. I don't know. And let's go over here, I guess. Alright, so this will take us up. Alright, so this gets us to the rooftop garden. So there's another way up there. Let's go back down. Again, I need railings there, I think. Alright, so we'll keep... This doesn't really go up anywhere from in here, does it? Nope. Okay, that's the only way to get up to the roof. Alright, and this takes you back into my house. Or my chambers, I guess is what I should say. And... oh, you know, I want to go back down. Because there's a bit that I don't think I covered. Or maybe I didn't, my memory is... Okay, so make this house available for people to come in and hang out. I don't know, some degree of playability, I suppose. It'll be pretty limited, to be truthful. And then I'm going to go back to more building. But what I'm going to do at that point is I'm going to build my own playable game. Just so I can kind of get a groove on that. And after I feel understand how to make a playable game. I think I might do a parallel part of the series at this point, where I'm going to be building 2 playable games, but one is me developing the game, and that'll take a long time, I'm pretty sure, so that'll be, a thing. Maybe I do that every other Minetest Monday or something like that, I don't know. But the next thing I want to do while that's happening is I want to build a community project. You know what I mean? Where you guys could, I'll make it available so that there'll be a certain amount of building and stuff that you guys do, I'm not sure exactly how I'll work that out. Again, because I just don't know enough about how playing games works here. And, the sun's coming up now, yay. Alright. So I guess I did go over these steps here, didn't I? Right? Trying to think, I have covered every place now, haven't I? I think I have. Oh no, there's, I didn't do the, where is it at? It's gonna be upstairs. Let's go upstairs real quick. Where am I going here now? I just lost my fucking concentration here. Okay, so I guess that's kind of the main thrust of how the arc of the series will go. And I think that's like several years into the future, you know what I mean? Worth of Minetest Mondays. I mean, it may be one of those things that, because I am 60, right, you know what I mean? And as many of you know, because I'm fairly open about these things, I, for decades, was a just fucked up blackout drunk. And so it's, I'm mostly, well, anyway, my health is kind of okay in the moment, except for I have degenerative disc disease, which fucks up my back. Anyway, so, I got some, and there's other things too, but, so who knows how long I'm actually going to stay alive. Anyway, so this, that's the recreation area, right? And then there'll be a way of coming out here, and this will get you so you have access to, another access to the rooftop garden. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's go up to the garden, because I think that's where I want to spend some effort today. One thing I might do that'll be a little extra is I do want to spend time on the rooftop garden before I move on to a survival mode. Because I kind of like to put trees and flowers and stuff, so that might take me a little bit of time. Yeah. So let's see, what am I going to do? I'm going to go put grass in. And let's see if we can do a bunch of grass filling today. How long have I been going? Oh, not that long at all. Alright. I always lose track of time when I'm playing this. And I swear, man, there are times I really get excited and I want to play it, not on a Monday. Because here's the thing. I only play this so that you guys can see my entire development and learning curve and all of that. And so I play this on a Monday morning. So I usually get up at 6. This morning I got up a little before 6. I have an alarm for 6, and that's when I eat my morning pills. Old man, we eat pills. And then I have some tea, and I play a few computer games like, the ritual is I play Wordle, right? And then I play Quirtle, which is playing 4 of Wordles at the same time. And I'll play Tortle. I'm never quite sure how to... Ortle? I'm not sure. It's XO. RDL, and you're playing 2 at the same time, but they're on the same grid, so it's a little bit more interesting. Sometimes I will then play Octortle, which is 8 at a time, and then sometimes I will play Nordle, which starts off with 1, and if you successfully solve that, then you get 2, and if you successfully solve that, you get 3, and so on and so forth. And I think, yeah, you can just jump forward, so you don't have to start at 1 if you don't want but it'll let you go. I mean, the highest I've got was 20 something, and I was actually doing okay as far as solving, because I only go until I don't know how many times it'll let you fail before it says, oh, you're done, game over. But I always just stop after I get one fail. But this time I didn't actually get a fail, but I stopped because the number of grids, they started getting so small and my vision's so bad I just couldn't make it out very easily. It just got too But playing, I think I've recorded myself playing Nordle, and I think the highest I ever got, either it was a live stream or it was a recording, I can't remember, but I think the highest I got with you guys witnessing me do it was like 17 or 16 or something like that. Maybe a little bit less, I'm not sure. Anyway, so I play those games, then I play Worldle, which they give you this silhouette of a country with no reference to size or anything like that. And the idea is, can you recognize a country? And they give you, I don't remember how many guesses. But as many of you know, I've kind of been on and off trying to, learn more about geography, starting with just, country names, capitals, locations. I don't know, I just think it's good for us to know the world we live in. Anyway, so I play Worldle, and then it also asks you for the neighbors, that touch them, and where their capital is, well, the name of the capital, where the capital is. What else do they ask you for? Oh, and then there's some stuff like can you recognize a flag? They ask a couple of trivia questions, that kind of thing. And I don't usually go through all of the questions. I usually stop at the flag, just because I usually have things to do. And so, while I'm doing all of that, I will have tea, or usually chicory, to be honest. But I'm out of chicory right now, so after I get paid, I will order some more. So I've been drinking just plain old black tea for a minute, which I usually don't drink in the morning, because if I drink too much tea, it really upsets my gut, which is why I've switched to matcha for my caffeine in the morning, and I just do it with the more traditional thing, where you whisk it in a bowl, because I really do think of it as like it's just a drug. I like the flavor of it, but I'm going to make a video about my whole morning ritual at some point. But alright, so that usually takes me an hour-ish, to do all that stuff. And alright, so then on Mondays, after all that nonsense, I need to kind of deal with my room, because I live and work in the same space. And so I got to move my desk around, because it's on wheels for this very purpose, so that I can get it positioned so there's the green screen behind me, and then I can have the mics set up so there's one on my left, one on my right, so you can get the keyboard and the mouse clicks, and then I have the headset on. And anyway, so I got to do a lot of setting up, making sure I got lights so that the green suit works well on the green screen. Depending on what I've done over the weekend, that could take anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, you know what I mean? Because I got to, I got to keep, I break stuff down to a point after I'm done working, because, again, I live here too. And it's fine, it just takes time, and it's part of the doing the work, isn't it? If you're not wealthy enough to actually own a dedicated studio, and then maybe just have your live space attached to it in some manner, like a storefrontish thing where you have your studio at the bottom and live above or something like that, I don't know. Anyway, so, and then I play, which you guys see for the most part. I mean, it does get edited down because I cough, or maybe somebody calls me in, or doesn't call me, but, they bug me or knock on my door. That's rare. Usually it's I cough, or I have to, take care of bodily functions and things like that, But anyway, so then you guys will see me doing that, so that takes however long it takes. I've lately been doing them more than an hour, because I know people like it that way. Although the number of you that actually watch all the way to the end is a minority of my viewers. Most of my watch times are less than half the video length. You know when YouTube gives you your stats, right? They just give you sort of an average watch time thing. Anyway, so then I record it. Then I take some kind of break, maybe get something to eat, because I really haven't had solid food yet, you know what I mean? Because I don't really want to eat in the morning. Oh, I forgot there's another thing that I just totally blew over. When I first get up in the morning, wash my face, eat my morning pills. I usually eat a spoonful of coconut oil, which a lot of people go, why do you do that? Because I find that it's medium chain triglycerides, right? The MTC thing, or MCT. Coconut oil has a lot of that, and it works well with caffeine. So I find that if I eat coconut oil, because I get jittery with caffeine as I've gotten older, but I find that I am less jittery if I eat coconut oil. Something about the way that the medium chain triglycerides work, because as I understand it, and somebody knows more about this than I do, please chime in the comment section. As I understand it, medium chain triglycerides can be utilized by the body for energy without having to be processed by the liver. So, how's that for something? Now again, I'm not sure exactly how all the mechanisms of that work, but I don't really need those details because I am not a scientist dealing with, human metabolic stuff. The only thing I really needed to do was get the information such that maybe I should eat that. I tried eating it and it works for me, right? You know what I mean? So I'm done. Alright, the moon's coming up. I'm going to not do the lullaby right now because I'm kind of on a groove with the garden here. Man, I'm wondering how much work should I do on the garden today? Should I start with flowers and trees and then go do windows later? Yeah, I'm going to do that. Let's think about this. So I'm going to go sleep in the bed here in a minute. Just because it's easier for me to visualize stuff in better light. So let's do the fly thing and go over to the bed. And we'll go over here. Actually, I'll just turn off flying. Boink. And there we go. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Now I'll turn flying back on, and let's just go all the way up. Actually, you know what? Now let's do this. Let me fly around a little bit here, because there's trees and flowers and stuff around here. And I'm thinking, I like the idea of, in gardens, using the stuff that kind of lives, where you are anyway. Like many of you know who come to the live stream. I think I've mentioned it a few times in other videos, but I've taken up gardening as a kind of a hobby thing, and it was twofold. Nobody else in the house was doing any yard work, and which is frustrating me because, the household upstairs is, this is the family home that we moved into when I was like 9 or 10. I guess I was 10. And when my mom, she had a lot of health issues, and she was nearing end of life, so she only had like a year or so or two or whatever left. Anyway, so we didn't know how long or short it was at the time, but so I moved back home, and my dad allowed me to remodel the garage, and it's sort of a garage / basement because the back end of it is, like half underground or something, and it used to have there used to be a wall in the garage so this was like a back, where I am right now was a back storage area, so we just I used to think of it anyway as the basement. Anyway, so I took up gardening. So I live down here, and then my sister and her husband live upstairs. My niece and her partner live upstairs. They're not married yet. But he's a young guy. He's a young, strapping lad. He has helped me with yard work in the past, but my nephew lives here. And actually, 2 of my nephews live here. One's my step-nephew, and one's my biological nephew. And there's a family friend, a guy named Jarrell, that lives with us, although he's, busy with work and stuff, and so he gets excused from a lot of chores and things like that, which is fine. It's fair. It's the arrangement works for everybody. Anyway, so it fell to me to do the stuff, which aggravated me because I have a bad back. Anyway, so I decided, you know what, I don't like having to do the weed whacking and trimming and cutting and pulling weeds and all this kind of crap. Well, actually, I've kind of come to, I don't mind it doing it much anymore, because I've started doing the gardening thing, and across a big front patch of our, across the entire, from the front, for about 6 or 7 feet, maybe a little bit more than that in certain spots, I used occultation. That's where you put a tarp on the ground. And alright, so let's look at these flowers. I don't know. And anyway, you put a tarp on the ground, and it seals, well, I don't know if it seals is the right word, but it blocks light, and you leave it there for 6 weeks. And you use a big, thick black tarp. It's a particular, size and thickness of tarp that they recommend. Anyway, you put that down, and it denies everything under it any sunlight, and it traps any moisture that was already there and whatever gets under it via rain or whatever. But so it initially, the heat and moisture trigger all the weeds and stuff to germinate and start to do whatever, but then they don't get energy, right, because you're blocking the sunlight from them, and so they croak, and then they just turn into organic matter that's in the dirt. And I've read a lot of things that suggest that this method is much better for maintaining soil health. So I decided to do that, and I planted native wildflowers. With the exception, I'm not sure cornflower is native to California, but I planted, so I got just this mix of native, California native wildflowers, and I spread that across the area. I overplanted, basically, or oversowed. And then I also got extra packets of cornflower and extra packets of California poppies, because I love those. And they're starting to come in. I'm hoping in the next couple of years it'll really fill in, because the annuals can spread, because it's about a third, the mix was about a third annuals, and the rest were, about a third perennial and 2/3 annual, I think is the way it goes. But all the annuals are good at self-seeding and all that kind of thing. So at least that's the idea. That's what that's what the package said. And both, my understanding, I've never grown cornflower before, but it's my understanding that they self-seed pretty well. And the golden poppies self-seed like crazy. They're fantastic. They're gorgeous. And the other thing is, you can't pick or cut or anything when it comes to the California golden poppy, unless it's on your property, right? If it's in the wild, whatever, or on somebody else's property, you're not supposed to touch it because it's the state flower, which is gorgeous. I love it because they're just fantastic. Okay, let's stop babbling about flowers and things, Bill, and your hopes for gardening. Oh, just one last word on it. I've been trying to do a lot of stuff where I get native plants that will be good for controlling erosion, suppressing, weeds, being deer resistant, because we have deer around here, and they can really screw things up because they're big animals, right? They have hooves, and they can kind of tear crap up. Which on one hand it's yeah, they need to live too, but on the other hand, I don't like my yard being torn up. Anyway, so I'm trying to get it so that all of the work I'll have to do on it will be fun for me, like tending to the flowers, maybe deadheading certain things to get them bloom some more, that kind of thing. My sister has a couple of roses that one of them needs to be transplanted, one of them's going to get moved because it's too big for where it's planted right now. And it's a climber, so we need to get a trellis. It's growing up the handrail on our front steps, which is okay, but it needs to be moved. It shouldn't have been planted where it got planted, frankly. But so we're going to move it, and then my sister has another rose that she has in a big pot container thing, but we're going to plant it because it's not going to get as big as the other one, so we're going to put it in the spot where we're taking the other one out. Anyway, so the whole idea is to have it be so that it'll be relatively low maintenance, and the maintenance that's necessary will be stuff that I am interested in doing. So there you go. And I kind of wanted to parallel that a little bit for my rooftop garden here. Anyway, so let's start looking around, because I kind of want to have all of these frickin' flowers, frankly. I'm just trying to think, do I want to do, how dense do I want to make them? Do I want to do them in clumps? Do I want to add little mounds like this up there? Yeah, let's go back up there. I think I want to add some mounds. Oops, I was already flying, you douchebag. Stop calling yourself names, Bill. That's a weird little thing. It's a thing I've just kind of become aware of relatively recently. Oh, I didn't finish up here, did I? No, I have not. There's a lot of stuff I haven't done yet here. So this wall needs to be completed. This wall needs to be completed. I think I'm done with putting the grass in, though. Alright, so let me finish these wall bits. Okay. Oop, not grass, dude. Wall. There we go. And here we go, like that. And so I think I'm going to put mounds up here. Like this. Do I want part of it to be a vegetable garden? You know, I wouldn't be doing it for like, that I'm going to be a self-sustaining garden or anything like that. Just things that might be fun to grow, like, you know, tomatoes or cucumbers and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe. That's an interesting idea. I'll roll that around in my head while we're doing this. Oh, let's get a little bit closer. There we go. Okay, I think that completes the wall, right? Oh, you know, now I'm thinking, do I want to make it be that? Do I want to change it? See, I put this kind of moss brick, sort of stone brick kind of looking thing across the top. Okay, I'll show you why. I'll explain what I'm thinking anyway. See, so I did, like, you'll notice that there's sort of a foundation of that gray stone block. It goes all the way around the house. So I think I will. I'm going to take all of the white wall out, and I'm going to put all of that stone wall in. So I think I have to put stone blocks, and then I'll come back in and put the stone wall bit, you know, the little raised bit. Yeah, I think that'll look better. Okay. So I need to take that out. Where's my thing? There we go. Oh, you know, here, let's go over here. I forget I can do this weird, fast way of doing building stuff, and I'm not terribly good at it. I think I'm getting better at it, but let's go closer a little bit, and then, come on. Oops, too far away. Let's go over this. Oh, you know, let's go do the lullaby thing. we go. Cock-a-doodle-doo. So let's go. Oops. Wrong button, Bill. Pay attention to what you're doing. Plus, I think if I do this all the way around the top, it'll give it sort of a castle-ish feel that I'm finding quite appealing. Alright, let's go over here and let's do the fast method. So here's the thing I'd like you guys to put into the comments. First of all, what is your favorite of the game sounds? Like, do you like it when I'm breaking stuff down, or do you prefer it when I'm placing stuff? Do you like the thud of when I'm placing bricks? Do you like the sound of walking on grass? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like most of them, to be honest. Actually, I like all of them. I can't think of one I don't right now. I do have to be careful with the level, though, because if I get it too loud, I find that the placing of the stone things, the thud, if I have it too loud, it stops being ASMR and just starts being eh. Oops, let's replace that, dude. There we go. But I think if I can get the relative level good with the thud thing, then I think it's a good sound, too. Same thing with breaking the bricks. If it gets too loud, it becomes harsh as opposed to just a pleasant sound. So, what I've figured out, I mean, I guess just so you guys can know information about me. Oh, I don't need to do these, do I? Alright, let's come back here. I need to rethink this. Do I want it to contain the garden? And I put the gray stuff that goes all the way around the outside? Or do I want the gray stuff to only, you know what I mean? Or do I want it to do both? Alright, let's go over here and look at the bit that's my personal access bit, and then going to be a patio at the top kind of thing. Because that will have all of the white things. I like that. I think I like the look of it. I like all of that. And I do like this. I think I'm going to put, man, that was a waste of time then, wasn't it? I'm going to put, alright, so I'm going to put, let's do this. Alright, I'm going to do the outer wall first, and then I'll come back and deal with the inner wall that I just tore down. So let me back up a bit and lower myself, and Anyway, so let me know what your favorite game sounds are. Let's come down just a bit, and there we go, and back up a little bit here, and back up a little bit, and like that, and now let's go over here. I always keep screwing up where I put my hands. It's funny, because I'm actually a pretty decent typist. I don't know what my word rate is, but I can usually type, like if I'm speaking, like say I'm going to say, hey, you guys, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. I can usually type fast enough to keep up with that. I mean, if I'm speaking really fast, not really, no, but if I'm just speaking in a calm and steady manner, such as this, I can almost always keep up as I type. Because I did take one semester of typing in high school, because, they always suggested that college-bound students do that for, at least, the place I went to school anyway. So, because you're going to have to type papers. Anyway, but when I'm doing like gameplay and stuff, because it's not a thing I do with any great regularity, I mean, you're doing the WSD, and all that kind of stuff. I guess it's WASD with the Z there, whatever. Anyway, yeah. I always just, due to lack of, I don't do it much, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, I suppose over time I'll get better at it, but as that works with most things. I mean, that really is a secret, isn't it? I mean, people often they'll compliment me and be a little like, wow, Bill, that's crazy, when I'm playing like the octordals and stuff like that, especially octordal, just because it's 8, or nordal when you get high, or, higher numbers. let's see here. I don't want to do that. This is the stairway now. Right, and then this is going to be glass. Oops. Let's go this way. Let's see how that's going to look. That'll be interesting. I think I'm going to leave that like that. Okay, so let's go over here. And let's put one. Where's the thing? I always lose track of the crosshair thing, too. Anyway, so when people make comments about the fact that I'm pretty good at, like, octoral, that's like I'll just remind them, it's just that I've done it for a while. You know what I mean? When I first started, I sucked. And often couldn't solve all 8, you know? And then after a while, you start to realize that you can use each grid to help you solve other grids kind of thing, right? Like you can go, okay, I think this word might be that and that word might be the other, and then you can choose words to play in that it's like, I know it's not going to solve the problem, but it might, or I mean, it won't be the answer, but it will help me solve the problem, I guess is what I was meaning to say. But you know, so you just get kind of good at noticing those things, and it's just a matter of experience and, you know, doing it. And here's the thing, to encourage you as well, there are some things that I just kind of am innately good at, you know, like picking up mathematical ideas and being able to, you know, like I always did well in math at school. I mean, I found math, like, not challenging, you know what I mean? I found it to be pretty easy until I took a seminar course. It was really a grad level course, but they allowed upper division math students to take the course, and it was called Foundations, and I took it before I should have. I needed more stuff under my belt because it just totally kicked my ass and I had to drop it. And I just, you know, I was too ambitious and I jumped in deeper to where, I mean, I just didn't have the experience. It wasn't, I mean, I had the course prerequisites really, you know, as far as like that, so because they let me enroll, but oops. All right, so now what do I want to do with this stuff? I guess I'm going to go get that thing to put the little ridges around so it has that castle look. Also, because when I was at school, I was still a blackout drunk, and the semester that I took Foundations was a particularly bad semester as far as, you know, my drinking. I was just, so I took the course probably before I was really mentally ready for it. I mean, I think maybe I had the skill set, but whatever, I don't know. It just, anyway, so I dropped the course. And I guess it was sometime after that is when I decided, because it had been my idea that I might teach math, you know. Let's put this up here. And then I came to find out just when I was, you know, well, I didn't have the mentality. You know, I was a very good tutor. Oops, that's not the right one. There's one that has moss on it, isn't there? All right, let's go back to inventory. So let's get this out. Where did I find that one? Where was it? Let's go find the walls. I always miss them because they don't look like what I imagine them to look like, because it's just a little, well, we'll find them. Well, like you can see here, right here, it's just a piece of thing, you know what I mean? So it doesn't really look wall-like until you place it. Where are they? Did I pass? Oh, here we go. Here's the one with moss, right? Yeah, that's the one I want. All right, there we go. Oops, come on. What am I doing? Okay, let's get back to work, Bill. I don't remember what I was saying now. That's what happens when... Oh man, let's go closer. Interruptions, man. Oh, anyway, so back to the encouraging bit. So I'm, outside of me, being not the best student in the one course of foundations, I, typically did well in math. I did find complex variable challenging as well. It's like doing calculus in the complex plane. That was mind-blowing, man. But I screwed up on the final, so I didn't get a good grade, which is like, frustrating. Because, that was it. You gotta, basically the final was your grade for the most part. Well, that's not true. We did have a couple of take-home assignments that, I don't know what you want to call them, take-home exams or something like that, but I guess those were about a third of the grade, and then everything else was the final, and I just screwed the pooch on the final. And anyway, that was a challenging class as well, but until the final I was doing pretty decently. Sigh. Anyway, so, stop bragging about being good at math, Bill. But the reason I bring that up is that I am not good at word stuff. I don't have a terribly good vocabulary. It might appear so on some of these word games because I've been playing them a while. They do, because somebody asked me once, do they have words that they kind of use over and over again? And at the time I was like, I hadn't given it much thought. But yeah, they do. I'm trying to think of a good one. Now my brain's gone blank on it. I might think of one later. But anyway, so just, if the game interests you, don't let it intimidate you. You just have to, play it a bit and you'll be fine. And you'll be as good as me, if not better, in no time. If you have any kind of linguistic skill when it comes to like vocabulary stuff and spelling and the like, then you will certainly be able to get better at it than I am. Alright, let's go put a lamp over here. No, let's just go sleep on the bed. Okay. Okay, cock-a-doodle-doo. Cock-a-doodle-doo, cock-a-doodle-doo, cock-a-doodle-doo. Alright, we're up high enough now. Let's get, I guess, this way, right? And let's back up a bit and oops, come on. Alright. Again, sometimes I like doing the clicking individually just because I like the click sound. Come on. What's going on here? There you go. And let's go this way now. Come on. Oops, again, wrong button, Bill. There we go. No, not quite close enough. There we go. And after I get this up, I'm going to go do a quick tour around it, so I can see if I really do like it as much as I think I'm going to. And also I need to think about, I think I'm going to like the way there's that break over there in the glass because of the way that the black frame glass will look against it maybe, but we'll see. I might be entirely silly about that, but we'll see. I think it's going to be okay. I think it'll be fine, but let's look. If it's not, I'll have to think of something else, won't I? Oops. Alright. Oh, what time are we getting to be here? 1:15. Alright. An hour 15. I'll go for a bit more, yeah. I might have to do another pause break or something here, because I've been sitting for a while and my back thanks, says Bill. You know, I suck. Alright, now let's go over this way. And, you know what, I should eventually go look at there's another cave way out there. Well, maybe not way out there, but a bit out there. That I found that I really like. I don't know what I'm going to do with it eventually, but that'll get addressed after, in the future, when I think I won't do anything with it until I'm doing mods. Alright, I'm not sure. I like having that glass overhang on that walkway that'll take us to the roof access, but let me see, do I really like the way it looks there? I think I do, because I think over here I will have more of the black framed glass, and I might do something like having the black framed glass somehow be the railing over here, and maybe that kind of continuity like that will be, I don't know. Alright, I will think about that. We're not going to solve that problem today, but I don't know. It's like it's not quite as nice as I thought it was going to be, but it might be tinkerable, oops. Alright, let's go up a bit, and alright, so I think on the inner bit I do want to have the white wall. Yeah, so let's do that. Let's get over to here. Dirt. Oops. What did I do? I went too far. There we go. Let's come down a bit. There we go. Alright, now let's go. Can I reach that? No, not quite. Holy mackerel. I guess I'm too high to do. I'll lower myself here in a second. Let's go over here and let's come down a bit. Alright, that should be okay. There we go. That's much better. Alright, that's good like that. And we'll put these in here like that. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go like this. Oh, come on. What's going on here, man? There we go. There we go. There we go. Now, does that look reasonably complete? Yeah, I think it does. And this is sort of just glass blocks as opposed to the framed obsidian glass windows. But I liked having the different windows in different places. I don't know, something about the contrast of it appeals to me. I now need to think about lighting up here for like evening lighting, because I don't know that I like all those cubes just scattered around. I just put those so I could, work through the night at times, rather than having to go do the sleep thing. Plus, there's a thing, some people have commented that they like it when I work through the dark, because, something about the aesthetic of the dark and the ASMR kind of nappy, sleepiness nature of it, Alright. I now want to just contemplate here for a minute, looking at this whole thing. I don't think I will have a vegetable garden up here. I think I will put a vegetable garden in, but I think I'll make it a raised bed vegetable garden, and it'll be down by the kitchen. Where the exterior access door is for the kitchen. Well, that just gave me an idea. This is silly, but I'm going to go over here and contemplate it. So, remember I was saying I needed to have... there's more wall over here that isn't complete. Okay, let's put this in. I was saying that I needed to have access to the recording studio that would accommodate, larger pieces of equipment. Like if somebody was going to bring in a piano or something, right? piano's not going to fit through just that basic door, you know. So I think I just got the idea. Okay, so the studio is, alright, that's the record. So the studio is that big, this big blank room. So where do I want to put this? Where do I want to? I want to put a freight elevator that goes directly into the studio. But so where would I put that? I don't want to. I want to keep from blocking any of the real window space for the pool. So maybe I put it back over here, right? Maybe that's the thing to do down here. You know what I mean? I mean, I'll have to change some of the stuff in here, I think. Maybe. How big does it need to be? Do I want to put it in here? How big is a freight elevator typically? Would 3 meters by 3 meters do it? Because it would need to come up to here, right? This is the, I think this is the floor. Oops. No, that's too high. That's too high. There's the floor. Would it need to be 3 meters high? Yeah, oops. Let's do this here. And let's think about what this might look like. Right, because there would be this kind of lumpiness that would come out and go down there. I'd lose that part of the window for the pool. All right, let me fly over here a bit. That'll be weird, huh? There'll just be this strange little niche thing in here. Right? So, this is the dining room, isn't it? That's what that is there. That's the dining room. I think, yeah. I'll just... No, that's not the dining room. Is it? No, that can't be the dining room. Because the dining room's here. What is that? Man, I'm totally lost where I am in my own house. Because there's a dining room and the breakfast nook, and then we come up here. What's in here? I don't remember. Holy mackerel. Oh, that is the pool. That's what it is. Okay. Dude, how could I forget that the pool needs to take up space? What a silly idea, Bill. Okay, I think it might be okay, because I have this like this here, which I kind of like, this weird gap. I don't know. There's all kinds of weird architectural nonsense that I find appealing. But I don't know if anybody is, knows anything about architecture for real, as opposed to me just being a silly guy that doesn't really know much of anything. How would you, I guess give me a review of the building. You know what I mean? Is it just ridiculously silly, or does any of it make any kind of sense from an architectural perspective? Or because I know just a lot of it I've done whimsically, and because the physics of this game is such that you don't really need to pay attention to, load bearing or anything like that, right? At least I don't think so. I mean, maybe in survival mode the physics stuff changes. I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? I'm going to fly around to the bed and make it so it's daytime again. So I just go to sleep. And I'm going to go back to contemplating the roof garden and seeing what I want up there. But I think I do want a freight elevator thing, and that'll be one of the problems that I solve, like the pool, before I move on. So I'll need to leave that rolling around in my head for a little while. I think it's getting to the place that I don't know, I'm thinking I might be just a month or two away from, completing this as far as the, I don't know, it's hard for me to say, to be honest. I suppose it depends on how long I make the episodes in the very near future here. Oh, and I haven't looked at this from a distance back here, have I? Or in the front here. So I can see the full castle sandwich aesthetic. Yeah, I like that. See how that, because there's a bit of a difference because of the moss gives it, even at a distance, there's a slight, tonal change in the color. I think the difference of it is cool, but the similarity gives it a really good, I don't know, I really like it. And like over here at the gym, let's go forward so we can be a little bit closer. Right, that's where, let's come down. Alright, let's go over here. Alright, so this is all going to be that obsidian glass windows, that's the black frame stuff. I think these will be the blocks, the clear blocks, and I think the big window here will again be the obsidian glass. I think all of the exterior windows over here will be obsidian glass. And oh man, placing the obsidian glass can be a bit tedious because it's like, I don't know, I just find it, I find it fiddly, but that might just be me and my poor ability to, use a keyboard and mouse to actually game in a decent manner. Let me go back out over here. And yeah, so I think all of this window space over here is going to be the obsidian glass. I think most of the windows will be obsidian glass. And yeah, and I think the pool is going to be enclosed by obsidian glass. I don't know what I'm going to do with the walls in the rec room yet. Or natural light, or do I want to have spaces where people can, look outside? See, I don't know that I will do that. I might just put windows for natural light and have it set up so it'll be kind of very arcade-like, because I want to have pinball machines and I want to have a pool table, like a full-size, not a bar-size full table. Maybe some dartboards. I used to play darts for a bit when I used to be hanging out in bars. I was never terribly good at it, but, I could have fun. I was decent at pool. I could beat probably 80% of the dudes you'd meet in a bar, you know what I mean? That were hanging around a pool table putting their quarters up or their name up or whatever. So, I guess what does that put me at, like a B plus sort of? Or no, I guess that's just B, So, I don't know. Not great, but not horrible. A little bit better than average. I had a friend, this guy that was named Alan. He had his, he was a semi-pro sort of guy in pool. I mean, he had a card and he went and played in like actual official tournaments for money and this sort of thing. And I used to hang out with him. I knew him when I was going to a community college in San Diego County. I also worked at the tutoring center while I was attending there, and I don't think he was attending there that I remember, but he worked in the tutoring center. He was a really smart guy. He and his sister were homeschooled. Their parents were super counterculture, hippie, crazy. He was also, for a long while, a reliable source of LSD for me as well. Anyway, we would go play at bars and stuff around the collegers, especially because I do know he was taking some classes at San Diego State University. He was doing physics. But so he tutored, a lot of the math classes, so I also tutored, which is how we met, right? Anyway, so we would hang out and go have beers together and stuff like that, but we would go over by bars that were near San Diego State, and lots of times you'd get these frat guys that were just, I mean, we've all met them, right? The guys that are just not nice guys, really. You know what I mean? They're just obnoxious. They get way too drunk. They want to prove their manhood to everybody. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. Anyway, they would come and, they'd want to, because we'd be on the table, right? We'd be, because we'd pick a couple of bars that actually had multiple tables, and we'd go at like early afternoon. Well, actually not early afternoon, late afternoon, early evening. When this particular couple of bars, it was when they were less crowded, you know what I mean? Which is so we could play in peace. But every once in a while, you'd get these frat guys that I was just describing that would come in, and they'd be, and it was like there was other, hey, you could just go use that table over there, because there's people playing there, but they're clearly, being very social about it, whereas we're clearly two guys that are friends playing pool together. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, fine, but bar etiquette is bar etiquette. So yeah, sure, put your name on the thing, and it was their intent, and they would even joke, but yeah, we'll get you guys off the table, and then they would put all their names up, and the idea was that they would keep us off the table. That was their trying to basically do some bullying thing. Mostly because Alan and I used to be almost precisely 6 feet tall. I'm only 5'10", a little over 5'10" now because of the amount of height I've lost because of my degenerative discs. But anyway, but I've always been a fairly light guy. So at the time I was probably weighing 150, maybe a little bit less, maybe 145. And 6 feet tall, 145, let's say that. And Alan was similarly built. I think he was about an inch taller than me, but he wasn't any heavier than me, really, as far as big around. So I think they just saw us as, skinny motherfuckers, and they were all big, looked like they were athletic type guys, and it was very bullying. Anyway, so he hustled them. Like, yeah, it was crazy. But because he was really, really good. He was really, really good. I mean, I almost never beat him. You know what I mean? It would only be like if he screwed up. It would be when I would beat him. But it was fun to play him, even though I lost all the time, because I got better playing him. You know what I mean? He would always give me pointers and stuff, and I was never very good with, spin and English. But so he would give me pointers, but he also told me, because I was good at ball speed, and he said, okay, you should work on your spin, but you're so good at ball speed, lean into that for a minute, because if you can get super good control of ball speed, that can be a good thing. And so I was really getting better at ball speed stuff, but trying to work on my spin. I haven't played pool in years, but anyway, back to thinking about your garden, Bill. Why was I bringing that up? Oh, I was talking about the rec room and all the stuff I wanted to put in there. Man, I just get off on these tangents, don't I? Sometimes I totally forget where the hell I am. Absent-minded screwball sometimes, Okay, so I think I do want trees up here. So I think what I want to have is an area that's going to be like with table, chairs, so kind of, picnic-ish sort of area up here. So I'll put a tree by that. Where do I want to put that, maybe? Let's go over here. I think I'll put a tree like around in here. And then I'll plan on this area here being where there'll be some tables and chairs. And then maybe I'll have tree sort of bush here, tree sort of bush here. Right? Yeah, I think that's what I will do. And I think otherwise, I think I need to conceive of some walkway paths and then just have flowers and bushes around that you could just sort of walk among. So I also want to have a stretch of it just be sort of lawn-like, you know what I mean? Maybe, have a big enough area like over here where like I could like play croquet and stuff like that. My grandparents had a croquet set, and they had a yard space that was pretty flat and nice for it. And so often when we had family, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, this sort of thing, birthdays, we would often go play croquet. because it would usually be like, my grandparents clearly and my parents, and then this was my mom's parents, so her brother and sister, and actually, well, this is a bit of a sad news, but I'll go ahead and share it. My uncle was gay, and my grandfather was, he was a farm boy. He was a, World War II veteran. He was a submariner in the Pacific during World War II. He was the chief engineer. Yeah, he ran the engine room. He was essentially Scotty, from Star Trek, but that's what he was for submarines in, World War II. And, but so, I only tell you that stuff because it gives you an idea of, how he was raised, where he was raised, what his mindset was, and he was homophobic as crazy. And when Chuck came out to him, it's like my grandfather just, it was when he just, it was horrible. The negative stuff that he threw at my uncle was just, it was like he lost his love for his son, I don't know. I mean, I can't say what was really in his heart, but there was a lot of animosity, a lot of anger. They didn't really get along after that. They barely spoke, even at family, things. But anyway, after my grandfather died, my grandmother was a lot more, open to it. I think, a lot of times maternal figures tend to be, Anyway, but, so after my grandfather died, that was, my uncle was able to be more open with the family, and he brought his partner to, like, Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff like that. And actually, actually had two different partners one guy for a while, and then they broke up, and then after a year or two, whatever the hell, I don't remember how long it wasn't a very long time, he met his next partner, and they were together for a long time. They bought a house together. They were essentially a couple, like married. Now they were, both sexually promiscuous, but they were able to separate sport sex from intimacy, And so, if you can do that, great, good for you, but I can't. And I was never terribly interested in sport sex, to be truthful. I always found it unsatisfying. Okay, so let's go sleep on the bed. And then I think I'm gonna, how far am I getting? This is 1:38. I think what I'll do is I'll plant a couple of the trees and see if I like that. And then leave that be for a while so I can, come back and revisit it in 2 weeks. And where am I at here? Oh, I'm on the right spot. What am I doing? I just went around the corner thinking there's the bed, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? It's not the right corner. You gotta come all the way around here. There we go. There's the bed. Holy mackerel. Alright, I need to come down more, don't I? There we go. Nope, that's far enough yet. Is that far enough? Nope. Maybe I'm just not close enough. There we go. There we are. Betty pie time. Yeah, there we go. Waking up. Alright. Let's go up. 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 Okay, we're up. And now let me go. What do I want to put here? Let me look at some of the trees over here. I'm trying to get at some. Because I think what I want to do is I want to put an apple tree here. Oh, there's another little tidbit of gardening stuff. My sister and her husband. I don't remember if it was Father's Day or my dad's birthday, because his birthday is June 6th, and I don't remember when Father's Day was. It was a Sunday very near that, obviously. Well, June, right? It's always very near his birthday. That's just the way the world is. So I don't want it to be like that. I think I want it to be like that. Anyway, they bought him a mandarin orange tree. It's only a small one. It's like 2.5 feet tall maybe right now. But we're going to plant it in a spot in our front yard, which will be fantastic. I think I found a good spot for it. I think my dad and sister both agree that it'll be a good spot. It'll fit the way I've kind of been working on my plan of the garden as it, grows and plants fill in and I'm able to afford and, put new things in and the like. Alright, so let's see. Let's go to inventory. I think I want an apple tree. Let's go get an apple tree. Yeah, we'll keep in mind that stuff. I want to find an apple tree. What's this here? Blueberry bush. Cactus, crazy. Bush leaves, alright, that's just standard stuff here. That's all. Alright, what are we doing? What's this here? Jungle grass. Have I passed them somehow? Okay, here's some more plant stuff. Okay, I think I must have missed them somehow. Oh, here we go. This is acacia tree. Do I have to go harvest one? Alright, I'm in page 1 now. There's an apple. Acacia, aspen. Blueberry bush. What is this? Bush sapling. I mean, I know they have, I'm pretty sure they have apple trees out there in the wild. Okay, I'm clearly either wrong or I don't understand what's going on here. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a confused guy. Alright, I'm going to take some stuff out of here. I'm not going to be using these for a minute. I'm just going to get rid of all the stuff that's not likely to be needed for a minute. I think I'm done with these for a minute. Alright, I'm going to go see if I can actually take an apple tree out of the wild. Because I know you can pick some stuff up. But I don't think you can. I think every time you touch it, you either break it or what happens? I don't know. Let me go see. This is all ridiculous. I was thinking maybe if well, let's just see. See, so I just hit it. It's going to break it, isn't it? Right? But what if I have nothing here? No, that doesn't work. It doesn't work, does it? Okay. What is this, though? Do I have to make apple trees somehow with mods? Man, that's disappointing. I thought for sure there were apple trees. Alright, well, I'm insane then. I don't know what I was thinking. How are you going to harvest wild things when you touch them with left click? It breaks them, and you only place things with right click. Alright, that's disappointing. Do I want to put a tree in this, a couple of trees in just as placeholders, and I can replace it with an apple tree later when I'm doing mods? Yeah, I think I'll do that. Yeah, let's just do that. So I may end up leaving a lot of the garden stuff that I was hoping to get, as part of this phase of the build. I may end up leaving a bunch of that till mod phase. I thought a lot more of it was just readily available than obviously it is. Either that or it's there in the inventory and I'm just blind and not finding it. Alright, so let's get back over here. And I need to come down. There we go. You can go there. Yeah, let's go get back to, I guess, page 1, right? And alright, this is acacia tree. Let's put this here. Let's get, I think I'll probably need these two, won't I? Acacia tree leaves. What is this? Acacia bush leaves. Aspen tree leaves. Where's an aspen tree? I'll put this here. But I didn't see the aspen trunk anywhere. Oh, I guess that's... And let's go this way. Bush stem, bush sapling, blueberry bush. Alright, let's get some of the bush leaves. What is this? What's the difference? Oh, blueberry bush with berry. Yeah, let's do actually a whole collection of these damn bushes here just for the hell of it. Yeah. Come on. Here we go. And this here. Let me just do a double check that I haven't overlooked a brown coral, copper block. Is there any other bush and stuff? So I don't know that I'll do flowers today or not, because it's coming up near 2 hours. I'll probably get less than that again because I will, clearly be doing editing and stuff. But what's this here? Pine needles. Pine tree sapling. Here we go. Pine tree. What's this up here? Pine bush needles. Okay. Apple tree sapling. Alright. I will come back. Alright. No, actually, yeah, let me do that. Let me just get out of here for a minute. Okay. There's a sapling. Let me just double check, because if there's the sapling, why don't they have the main tree trunk? You know what I mean? That just seems silly. Unless apple trees are a thing that are already programmed to grow. You know what I mean? Whether I don't know. Because, like, remember I was saying earlier that there's those plants that were down in that one cave area that they always seem to be there, even though I kind of pull them out. So I'm wondering if, that's why I pulled them all out, just to see if, do they grow back or not. Okay, yeah, let's get out of inventory. Let's put some stuff here. I'm going to put this here, I guess. How tall do I want it to be? I don't know. I want to go look at how they build other trees over here. Let's follow that kind of example. Because does the trunk go all the way up and then you just... I don't know. How do we look at these? Or do you just take the trunk up to a certain height and then the rest of it becomes blocks? That's kind of what it looks like, isn't it? Right? Let's get down here. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I can build them however I want, but I just like the idea of, kind of following suit, you know what I mean? If there's sort of a standard practice. Alright, I can't go in anymore. Yeah, so it looks like you just take the trunk up and then you just, put leaves however the hell you want around the trunk. That's a cool effect. At least on this monitor, there's a weird little cool thing that's happening with the lines and that are the shapes of the blocks. That's weird. Anyway, a weird little sort of rendering artifact, I guess. So how tall do I want this acacia tree? That's already, what, 3 meters? Right, 1, 2, 3. So what is that? I think a meter's like 39 inches, so what, that's 3 feet 9 inches, is that right? So getting close to... No, that's not right. 9 feet 9 inches, excuse me. Yikes, Bill. So getting close to 10 feet. Yeah, that's tall enough. Okay, so let's put leaves. And... Actually, let's take this, let's go one more up. Actually, maybe 2 more up. Up. Because I think... There we go. Up, let's go to... So what I will do now, just to set your is at the next sunset, I'm going to call it quits for today. Alright, so let's go look at this tree business I'm trying to get done here to see what I like about it. So I think I have 5 meters now, or only 4 meters, I don't remember. Alright, so 1, 2, yeah, 5 meters. Okay, so after 3 meters is where I will put the leaves. So let's get leaves. Where's acacia, right? That's what I'm doing here. I guess it doesn't matter, I can put whatever freaking leaves I want, can't I? Oh, that's too much. Or is it? No, I think that's alright. Do they actually come out like that? I don't know. I don't know what acacia trees really look like, to be honest, you know what I mean? I need to go look at the inventory. I'm not sure I got the right thing. Aspen. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter, dude. Yeah, so I'm using an acacia tree trunk to put, aspen leaves on it. That's fine. Come on, dude. Why does the eye not always work? I don't get it. Anyway. Alright. Let's just do this then, like this. Actually, I take that one out. Come on. There we go. Put it in there and put this over here. Let's go around it there. So I don't know what kind of tree this is really supposed to look like now, because I'm just kind of doing loop-de-doop-de-doop. Kind of willy-nilly, you know what I mean? But I think that'll make for a more interesting looking tree. Alright, let's go down and... I think that looks okay. Let's back up and take a look at that tree. Does that look, yeah, let's go over here. I think maybe, oops, wrong button again, Bill. Let's do this here. Alright, now let's look at this here. Yeah, let's put some more over here. Oops. Does that look too wimpy over here? Should I take some of that in now? Let's put some more in there like that. There we go. Alright, now let's... Alright, now I want to back up. Alright, I think that part looks okay. So now let's put some stuff along the top of it so it looks a little bit more mounded. Alright, I think that looks better. Let's back up now. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you like my tree. Or does it look just too weird? I like it. Here I'm going to put a couple more over here just because it seems like it might be nice. Come on, get a little bit closer. Now let's back up and look at that. Yeah, I like the look of that. Oh, that looks kind of weird there. I think I need to do something about it from this side. Let's try that now. Let's back up. Yeah, it's still kind of blocky, of course, but I think it looks a little bit more kind of, I don't know, I like it. I like it. Okay, so there's a tree. All right. Now let's go put some bushes over here, I think. Or let's put the, did I get the apple sapling? No, I didn't. I said I'd come back for that, didn't I? Well, here I'm going to put some, let's put some blueberry bushes along here, yeah. Let's come down. Let's do it like that. Let's hit it. Oh, that's too tall. I think that's a good kind of bit of a bushy, whatever kind of bush. Let's have it come a little bit closer to the wall here, I guess. There, that should be good, yeah. Let's put a different one over here. Come on. Actually, let's just make this one fairly hedge-like, you know what I mean? Actually, yeah, let's take that like that, and go like that, and then like that. Oops. Not so much like that, like that. Alright, I like that. And this could be sort of that table-ish area I was talking about. I think this around here will be the croquet area, maybe? Or whatever, right? Just sort of a lawn-ish area. Alright, and then over here we'll be doing flowers and stuff. So, do I want more bushes and then flowers? Yeah, let's do some bushes along the edge here. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Alright, I'm thinking of a thing here I'm trying to do, and it will start. Oh, come on. And let's have it be close over here, not right up against my steps, but alright, let's do this now. Actually, let's take it this way, not like that. There we go. Let's take this out too. Let's do this here. Let's put this here like that. I'm thinking I should make this taller, huh? Because I'm trying to make it be sort of like a bush hedge-ish, kind of maze-ish looking thing, you know what I mean? I just think that might be kind of fun. Oh, you know, maybe, should I make it be different bushes, or should it be all, I was kind of just doing it the same bush because it kind of gives it that weird maze feel, you know what I mean? But, yeah, let's just do it like this. I can always change it. And who knows, after I make mods, I may remodel my garden just because I'll have, you know, more things available to me if I can make it myself. Let's go this way now. let's leave that there. Yeah, let's do that like that. Alright, now how do I want to do this? I guess I want to do this like that. Nah, I don't want it to be like that. I guess I'll just have it be like that. That's kind of wide, but that'll be okay. And let's do this, though. Oops, you know, it's sunset, so here we go. I'm going to call it done, folks. So, do 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 da 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 la da 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 ba da da ba da da la da 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 do 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 Aloha, siblings.